Hello and welcome back to another video. Now, this video is going to be a little bit different to my usual videos. Today we are going to be doing a bot review, or more of a first impressions actually. Before I do a review on this bot, I really want to actually use it a bit longer. I see a lot of people coming out with some stuff, but I want to use the bot, get quite a few checkouts in it before I properly comment on it and do a review on it. But I will be doing that in the future, so be sure to subscribe and keep an eye out for that. But right now we're going to do a first impressions. We're just going to talk about it and what actually is in PRISM 2.0. So I was so gassed for 2.0 and the success has been pretty crazy on foot sites. Right, so starting off, as you can see on the screen right now, this is essentially the dashboard. This isn't the web dashboard, but this is where you can see statistics from checkouts and really what you have on the bot. So as you can see, here are some of my recent checkouts. This was for the Candy Prime kind of chocolate release thing I was running for my friend. What you have up here, which is quite nice, is you have a release calendar. Now they kind of stopped updating this in 1.0, but hopefully they put a few releases. Here you can see you have the snake skin, and this is quite good. It shows you all the sites. It only shows you US sites, which is quite annoying. I'm in the UK, so it's not actually that great having this. But definitely this allows you to have a shortcut. If you want to create a task for social status, for example, you can just click create, and it'll take you right here. This will send to the tasks tab, which I'll take you to in a second. Here, obviously, you can see checkouts, dollars spent, and failures. You can see the tasks that I have right now. Success rate. This is quite cool, seeing your success rate. Obviously, mine's 0. I don't have any checkouts yet. Okay, so moving on from this kind of main page here, you can go to the task groups page. So as you can see, this was the social status task that we were just creating a second ago. And this is kind of where all your tasks will be. This is where you'll be the majority of the time using PRISM AIO. So as you can see here, this will show you all of your tasks. Now, this may look familiar to some of you. Kodai. You know, it might be inspired by them, but it definitely works in its own unique way. That's very good for US people in particular. They have a lot of sites released at the same time, and this is a very manageable way to kind of control that and easily see what's going on all at the same time, compared to other bots where you can't. This allows you to start all separate groups and kind of work quite well and dynamically around each site releasing. So this was the Foot Locker drop that happened for the snake skins. I didn't manage to cop any, but this is like the setup that I was running, I guess. So the way to create a task group is by clicking the new task group button, as you would imagine, and you can put in the group name. So let's say we're just gonna go for Kith for the sake of it, and also this is where the site, so we're going for Kith. I see there, create. So we've created the task, and here you can see we have the title, price, sizes. So when your keywords or link or variant or whatever pick up, you'll see an image here, title, price, all that. And you can see this quite quickly, so you actually know if you picked up the right item or not. Very important, because obviously if you pick up the wrong item, well, you're kind of screwed. It also shows you the sizes, so you don't run for any stupid sizes or anything like that. You also have the monitor inputs. This is keywords or anything like that I mentioned. A site password, so this is for password page releases. If they release a password or whatever, or you have a password, you can put that in there and you'll get sent straight through. And here's a proxy list. This is where you can kind of select your proxies that you want to use. Here, you can also see your statistics, so anything that's casted or failed. You can also see this quickly here. So you can see anything that's checking out, loading, carted, failed, all that stuff. So you can also schedule your tasks from here. Scheduling has been a bit dodgy in the first few days of using PRISM. They've said a few things in their Discord not to necessarily use it and start it manually, but that should get fixed, and probably by the time you're watching this video, it will be fixed. But to actually create your task, you click the plus button up here, and this is the task creator that you saw earlier. So here you can select your either individual profiles or your profile group. So I have a few profile groups just to make everything a lot easier, because I have jigged addresses, US addresses, all that stuff. And it makes it a lot easier for using different cards. Now, moving down, you've got your delay, your task quantity. This is all very familiar stuff, as well as your proxy list. You need to have it in a bot. It's just kind of the fundamentals. Here you have your sizes. So you can have group sizes. So let's say you just want to have a base size group. So on a release, you know, if you just want to run for base sizes, you can do that there, or you could have a personal size group or whatever. That's quite easy. It just makes it faster than individually selecting every single size or like that, which can obviously save you time if you need to quickly set up. You can also have custom sizes. So let's say you want something that's XXXXL, or something that's even smaller, even more extreme than these set, or just different to what they don't have here. Obviously, custom allows you to do that. Again, item quantity, very basic. Accounts, shipping rate. I don't have any of that stuff yet, but that's just standard stuff in botting. So you have your modes. You have fast, safe, and safe preload. I've only used safe preload so fast, but in the PRISM Discord, it will tell you when to use these. So this red dot here will tell you if the task is running or not. You can also create tasks by clicking here, And the way you edit tasks is by clicking the update all. And this is essentially just a mass edit, and where you can edit everything, which in some bots you can't do. I know Sol AIO, you can't edit profiles or whatever in the middle of a release, whereas in this one you can. On others you have to individually edit them, so that's a really useful feature. So here is a profile page. I'm going to blur out all my profiles. I've got quite a few. And yeah, this is where you can make profiles or profile groups. You can select them, click the plus group button up here, and then that will create a group. Creating a profile, I'm not going to go over that. You're just putting on your details. There's nothing much there. Now, here's proxies. Again, very, very simple. Where, let's say you have loads, you can search for your proxy list. You put in the name, paste it in, create. Very easy. You can also test it, which is really helpful. This is really nice to have, so you can just select it, whatever, offspring test. I don't know any proxies in, but there you go. So now this is the settings page. Now there's a lot of really cool stuff in here that I'm going to go over. So I've got my webhook there. That'll be blurred out, but this is just, again, in standard stuff. This will send your checkouts, and whether you click this or not, your failures to your Discord channel. Very important if you have a PayPal checkout. Which does happen quite a lot on Prism. Now, what I love is that you can have your own custom checkout sound. A lot of people were sending their own that they made in the Prism General, but I've got the default one right now. You should be able to hear that. It's just like a ding, but I think it's really cool that you can import your own third-party integration. This is the first bot I've seen that does this. I might just be stupid, but I haven't seen another bot really do this. So you can connect your Philips Hue and Nanoleaf to the bot, and it will like work with it. So I assume when you get a checkout, it will turn green. I can't really comment on that too much because I don't know too much about that, so I might be wrong. But I think it's really cool that you can connect your lights with a bot, a Prism. I think that's really cool. Here you have your app data, so this is basically just everything here, import, export. Here's your site specifics. So let's say you want to specifically run something and just kind of your default task. That's really good if you want to set up quickly. So for Offspring, that'll be good if it, because they do shock drops. Size groups, this is what I was talking about earlier. This is just how you create size groups in your pages. So let's say we want to do base sizes, and we want all the small ones up to like 6, and then create. There you go, we have a size group. Shipping rates, this is, again, you put your Shopify shipping rate here. You can input a profile if you want. There you go. You use shipping rates on Shopify, I believe, mostly, and it can just speed up the checkout. Now the last stage is accounts. Now all these will be blurred out, but essentially this is just where you can put your accounts in. I've got some for undefeated in at the moment in case I want to just run for US drops. I generated a few. Now there are a few things. There are a few small things I didn't go over. Keyboard shortcuts. This is quite cool. This will show you all the keyboard shortcuts you have in the bot that you can use just there. So all of them involve control. And I don't think you can customize these, but there you go. You also have quick tasks. This is where you can select your quick task settings, what profiles, what proxies, sizes, all that you want to use. And you can even do it for website specifics. So that's really good, especially for websites that shock drop. Now this is the capture harvester here. I really do like the Prism theme overall. They use really nice fonts. I mean, the classic Prism colors, that purple, navy blue, almost like grey, pink theme. I think it's amazing with a bit of blue in there. I absolutely love it. So here's the solver. As you can see, this is where you put in your proxy. You can log into Google just by clicking that there. Yeah, so clicking this Google thing will, there you go, open up a YouTube thing. Obviously, you can refresh your capture harvester or whatever, clear it. And this is quite useful. So this is solver 1. Again, you can create another solver there. I believe these aren't the best capture solvers. You can't like check your capture score or anything like that through it. But honestly, capture harvesters aren't a big deal. I think these look really good. But there's not really much you need to change about capture harvester. It just kind of is what it is. But there you go. I hope this kind of was, maybe it wasn't interesting, but just gave you my first impressions of Prism. I haven't used it that much, but hopefully this will just show you what is in 2.0, what the UI looks like, and what everything does in case you are stuck. If you do want a review, be sure to like the video and comment what you thought of it. Now, I really do like the UI, and I'm excited for Prism 2.0, although it does seem to be mainly a US-based bot. And obviously the devs are in the US, and the majority of the sites are in the US, but personally, I want some EU sites. I'm EU, they've got Offspring and Footlocker EU, but it didn't do too well. Should I sell it? The price is skyrocketing at the moment. I might have to sell it, but here it is, the bot. And I'm going to put up some screenshots quickly of what the old UI used to look like, just so you can compare it. So, I mean, looking at this now, this looks extremely outdated. It just looks a bit dry. And I definitely prefer the 2.0. Creating a task, in my opinion, was much more tedious. You had to kind of select this. I would always misclick Offspring. And, yeah. It looks like it has more sites as well. This only makes it look like it in new 5 sites. And obviously, it's much more impressive if you can do more. And now, when you actually had to create a task, you had this massive screen here. This was so confusing. I remember when I was creating my first task on Prism, I was so confused on what everything did. And then new one is so much easier to use. So looking at this, it is like, wow, they've done a really good job. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. And I didn't have a kind of a live cop reality of a reseller video this week. That's just because there were dry releases, and the satin snakeskin footlocker drop went terribly. It just ate my data because Prism don't currently have a image bypass for footlocker EU. So yeah, my resi data died. I used like 3 GB in an hour, running like 100 tasks or half an hour or so. It was pretty brutal. But yeah, I just don't want to show you that, and nothing else really released, nothing sold. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.